Hello, and today we'll be playing by your hands. So after completing Arc 1 for Brendan, we're about to start Arc 1 for Kamil. This is where we're going to start his route now with day 2. And the UI has changed. So I have to create a new save file here. And in this update, why I gotta do sprite? Okay, this is new sprite right here. I kind of like his old sprite better, but this one's pretty good also. Even there, the muted atmosphere which had settled over the campus remained thick and heavy, oppressive almost. Gone was the loud music, the sound of the students chattering and cheering. As a matter of fact, I was the only one walking along the street. To be honest, it felt a little bit creepy. I quickened my pace, finally reaching the front door of the same house from the night before. Lifted my hand, nod. Some part of my brain half expected to see Tucker standing in the doorway again, giving me that same sneering grin, probably throwing out a snide joke at my or someone else's expense while he was at it. So when the door was opened by a dragon, it took me a moment or two to process the sight. Oh, hey. Rex, White? Yeah. I saw the other male's face. I was pretty sure he'd been one of the animals Kamil had introduced me to the night before. One of the crocodile's friends, a member of the football team. I racked my brain, trying to find a single spark of recognition. Blue scales, long mane, antlers. Huh? And you're Die? Yep. What brings you by, man? Is Kamil still here? Sure is. Come on in. We're just finishing up our team huddle. Though his mouth remained firmly in place, I could see his brow twitch just the slightest bit. Alright. I could hardly recognize the main room of the house as the same place where Tucker and everyone else had been partying the night before. The only animals present is in a large space, far larger without the crowd, were the football team, the group either standing around, leaning over, or lounging on the couch, set off to one side. As with Die, it took me a second to recall the names Kamil had told me and connect them to the various faces. There was Kamil, of course, sitting on the 3-seater against the wall between a yak and a griffin. The latter was named Gary, he said. I was fairly certain that the former was Yusuf. Sitting across from them, with Reggie, leaning over the back of that couch, was a Komodo dragon and a shark, cow and sow, respectively. Then Liam, sitting all by himself in an armchair, with Kadir standing next to him, recognized that last team member right away. I never even heard of a Conroe before, but apparently his family and Kamil's were from around the same region. Seems I don't have any choice. I mean, you were already doing all the planning stuff out with Coach, right? So who better? Yeah, just means you'll be doing all the rest, too, since Tucker's, Even saying the Tiger's name made everyone's face fall. It was into that heavy silence which Dye led me, his mouth straightening at the corners. Yo, Kamil, you got a visitor. Oh, Rex, hey. Guys, you remember Rex, right? So many eyes turning towards me, looking at me. I knew the tension between my shoulders and my shoulder blades and gave the gathered group a small wave. In return, I got broad smiles from Kadir, Reggie, and Gary, a nod from Yusuf and a wave from Saul and Kyle. Liam glanced my way, acknowledging my presence, then cleared his throat. So it's decided? No arguments here. I think you're pretty much the best man for the job. Shouldn't we wait till Wyatt's here to make a final decision, though? You really think Wyatt would want anyone but Tucker's right-hand man taking over for him? When I shifted from foot to foot, I patted my shoulder and then moved to lean against the arm of the couch next to the cow. I started edging towards where Kamil was sitting, unable to ignore just how out of place I felt. Not only because I had come in right in the middle of the conversation. Thankfully, Gary hopped up and waved me over, allowing me to take his spot next to the crocodile. What's going on? Kamil grunted, keeping his voice quiet as well when he answered. Just team stuff, deciding who's the new captain's gonna be. Oh, and it's going to be Liam? So now that that's settled, we should be good to head out. That was pretty much the only thing we needed to get squared away. I looked over to the two of us. At that, I guess we weren't being as quiet as we thought we were. I mean, we are still down a player cause, well, you know. And I brought the mood right back down again. He's really gone, ain't he? Kinda hard to come back for what happened to him, yeah? You think someone, had it out for him? They must have if they did something like that. Everyone in the room grimaced, whether at the memory of what had been in the courtyard that morning or imagining what had put Tucker in that state. At least for me. How did he even end up like that? Why like that? Again and again, Connor's words kept repeating in my head. What kind of knife that sliced someone's hair off as cleanly as the police were saying? And what happened to the rest of him? What happened between the party the night before and that morning? A quiet but insistent grunt broke the silence. This isn't helping anyone. Let's all just drop the subject, alright? Yeah. Even so, it looked like what had happened was still weighing on everyone's minds. I could see them all frowning, scowling, lost in thought. Tucker was an asshole. I knew that. They had to know it. He was the captain of the football team, so they would have had to deal with him for far longer than I even known who he was. They were all at the party the night before. They all saw what happened. Another grunt, this time for Kamil. That was right. He got to his feet, looking from the lion over in the armchair to the group on the couch across from us. What are we even doing, huh? You think Tucker would want us to just sit around moping and crying? Coach Naku. Yeah, so he isn't gonna be around anymore, but sitting here all sad about it isn't gonna fix anything, and it isn't gonna win us any games. It just means we're all gonna have to work that much harder to do him proud, right? Pick ourselves up, wipe the snot out of our noses, across it for Tucker. A couple smiles, a few chuckles, Lyle nodded, and Gary grinned. Yeah, Bubba ain't gonna help a damn thing. He probably wouldn't say it like that, but yeah, Tucker wouldn't want us to waste time crying about it. Bye. And with Leon taking over for him, things are only gonna get even better. That's right. Thank you for the words of encouragement, Kamil. Yeah. Good to know we can depend on you to lighten the mood, man. The painter who had moved around the one couch just clapped Kamil on the shoulder, then reached down to give the crocodile's ass a hearty slap. Anytime, Reg. He bumped his shoulder against Reggie's to knock the painter away. The pair of them laughed, the painter throwing a few light, playful punches at the crocodile. The rest of the team laughed along, cheering for one or the other as they played fought for a while longer. He couldn't help but smile. Good old dependable Kamil was always could be counted on, yeah? At the same time, though, I had noticed how he reacted to the smack, similar to how he had out on the field the day before, stifling, stammering, flicking his tail even as he rolled his eyes and gave the handsy bandit right grin of his own. Kind of weird for someone who hadn't wanted to be seen hugging another male in public. It was different with his teammates or something. So, this is all well and good, but we still need to figure out what to do about the missing player on the team. Oh yeah, I know a couple of guys could ask around, maybe. Same here. It shouldn't be too hard to find someone to fill in. Yeah, especially now. Can I join? Deep breath in, slow breath out, without all the tension and anxiety. I looked around, meeting the gazes that were all suddenly pointed right at me. You want to? I shrugged. Sure. I mean, why not? A few of the others were looking me up and down. I stood as tall as I could under their scrutiny. It does look pretty strong. A good one or two if those legs are anything to go by. Yeah, probably lighter on his feet. Than I am. You know how to play, man. I didn't. I think Kamil had sat me down to watch a game or two when we were younger. But anything beyond the players running back and forth tackling each other while throwing that weird shaped ball around had flown right over my head. You saw sweat again. I can learn. Didn't want to brag too much, but I was pretty strong, at least some of my yearly physicals at the lab had shown. Pretty good runner too. As for running around and tackling things, every researcher who ever worked with me knew full well how much I used to like doing that. And as a bonus, got a phone call Kamil. I mean, we did hang out a fair amount as it was, mostly on the weekends, of course, or during his breaks or going to school. But for a long time after Connor had moved away, it was like there was something missing between the two of us. Some kind of snag whenever we get together. Awkward silences left unfilled. And of course we had plenty of other friends. I knew that very well after the night before. There were plenty of other animals with whom he shared a lot of interest, while I was really just the only other male his age at the lab complex. Maybe this way I could share more than just that with him. We could hang out with each other and the rest of the team. Get that still lingering snag out of our friendship while making it even stronger. I cleared my throat, hoping my thoughts hadn't sewn too much on my face. So how about it? I mean, a man moved in closer to me, lowering his voice. Is it, gonna be okay? While clapping him on the shoulder, I gave the crocodile my best attempt at a reassuring smile. What better to get me out of the house and meeting new people, huh? His brow furrowed in consideration, and at that, then his lips parted up into a smile of his own. He knew what I was getting at. Well, right then, sounds like we got a new player, guys. He gave the others a grin. Guy was still looking at me, his own brow furrowed over his peeling eyes. He still has to determine if he'll even be a good fit. Being part of a team is about more than just raw ability. He will be. You don't need to worry about that. I mean, everyone met him at the party last night, and he fit in just fine, right, guys? The crocodile looked to the rest of the gathered animals for support. Yeah, he was chill. Kind of quiet, but chill. And we do need one more team member. He's right here and volunteering, so why not? What we need to do is bring someone in from junior varsity for the time being until coach can figure things out. We can't just have a walk-on out on the field with us for our first game. The JVs, really, man? He'll probably go out and find a wild that can play ball better than those guys. All three of us, Kamil, Liam, and I, looking around, checking what the rest of the team thought as well. It was easy to see that the line was outnumbered just by the expressions of the other males' faces. Alright then, I suppose we'll see what coach says. Alright. It was Kamil's turn to clap me on the shoulder, giving me a light jostle. Welcome to the team, man. And with that, it was decided I was on the football team. I mean, not really, at least not just yet. I still had to actually talk to the coach and probably one of the counselors and administration to get it added to my schedule. But that was just details. Good old dependable Kamil offered to walk me over to do so during lunch the next day. He'd be right there with me through the whole process, and out on the field too, showing me the ropes and teaching me everything I need to know. So with everything settled, there wasn't really anything else to do but hang around with the rest of the team for a while before heading back to the lab complex. And it was nice. Still a little awkward, but without the loud music pumping in my head, 100 other animals chattering all around me, I could get to know Kamil's teammates and now mine a little better without getting overwhelmed. Gary and I were curious about how me and Kamil knew each other so well. When the crocodile explained that our dads had been working at the same place all our lives, they accepted it without question. Reggie was as enthusiastic as he had been the night before, giving me a pat on the back to welcome me to the team. Even managed to stagger me a little bit, but the panda was just quick to help pull me back up right. Yusuf was kind of quiet, and Kadir was busy talking to Liam about something. Saul seemed more interested in his phone, and Kyle was a little hard to read without face. I knew about it all too well. I got it. But even Saul received smiles, words of gratitude for volunteering, and a semi-warm welcome from them all the same. Wyatt came in just when me and Kamil were heading out the door. Looked like he was really lost in thought. His brow furrowed, his gaze pointed at the ground, barely acknowledging me or the crocodiles he passed us by. I glanced back at him as he headed up to the second floor of the house. Kamil just sighed, shook his head, and gestured for me to follow him out. Given the wolf some space, he was probably all that we could really do. Giving the wolf some space was all that we could really do. Together, Kamil and I made our way out of the frat house, out through the front gate of the university, out onto the streets of the city once more. The crocodile and I walking home together, side by side, breathing in the fresh air, breathing out all the stagnant tension from the moment. Bucharest. Crazy day, huh? You doing alright? Yeah, I think so. We're gonna work hard and do him proud, with as many games as we can for him, right? She was just repeating what Kamil had said earlier back to him. Maybe they were words of encouragement he needed to hear too. I slung an arm over the crocodile's broad shoulders. He glanced around at the other animals passing by, tail flicking just once more, but he didn't pull away this time. On the contrary, he even let me lean against him a little bit. I know things are pretty weird right now. Probably will be for a while. But I know you can handle it, man. You always have before, right? Kamil's chest and back expanded, then contracted, his shoulders rising and then falling. A deep breath in through White Flary's nostrils. A slow breath out, accompanied by a warm smile. You're right. Thanks, Rex. Kamil wrapped an arm around me in return, giving me a brief squeeze, then let go just as quickly. There was still a hint of tension visible in his jaw and the corners of his lips, throbbing up and down his spine under my fingers, reduced significantly, but still there. It was around that time that we finally reached the lab complex gate. The guard nodded and waved us both through. I turned to Kamil then, putting on a smile while offering to walk him home, wanting to return that favor too. Wanted to stay in the crocodile's soothing presence for as long as possible to stave off the creepy feeling which was still prickling the back of my neck. Kamil, though, demurred. There were still some things he needed to consider, and he wanted some time alone with his thoughts. Couldn't really blame him for that, so I gave him one more quick side hug, then waved and then turned to make my way down the street alone. Hello, this is the perfect version of the build that adds day to the Kamil's route. The team are still mourning Tucker's death, but they're in the process of getting over it thanks to the help of Kamil and Rex has now joined the football team. A small update, but the next day in Kamil's route is frankly huge, so prepare for it. And how do you enjoy this update? Wonderful. Since you enjoyed this game so much, I'd love it if you would rate this game on itch.io for us. Just click on the itch.io button in the top right corner and rate the game. Has your opinion of Kamil changed? More context builds a character, doesn't it? You have treated Kamil pretty well so far. Good job. You're on the right track of making a crocodile truly happy. I'm sure you'll know what to do at any given moment. You can become a patron by clicking on the button above and get access to Kamil's Day 3 as well as for the higher tiers working process for the game's art, a guide for the game, and commentary provided by me. You can become a patron by clicking on the button above, get access to Kamil's Day 3 as well as for the higher tiers working process for the game's art, a guide for the game, and commentary provided by me. I hope you are not tired of hearing me say that this was one of the most stressful builds to make because we're going right back to it. It's a bad combination of colors and having a shitload of art assets to make, so sorry that a lot of art is unfinished. This is the best I was able to manage. Listen, Habibi, I know this isn't the greatest thing to hear, but I want to be honest with you. Just don't concern yourself with us. We know what we're doing. Believe it or not, there were a bunch of seeds that were cut out of this day and moved to the future parts of the route. This day just had a lot of stuff packed within it. Coding this build was a bitch, so I will say that my coding experience did help me survive. Like with last build, there wasn't a lot of time to redo old content in the game, but I did make a few adjustments. Next build should be a lot less stressful as I finish most of the assets. I think I can focus on finishing incomplete art in the next build. Hopefully I didn't jinx myself, but don't worry about us. Anyways, I also want to show you a piece of fan art done by Mafu. Here it is. You joined the team? Bet you're a small guy like you needs a big guy like me to protect you. Bad boy shit. If you have any fan art you want me to share on this game, please let me know either through itch.io, Discord, whatever. That's everything. Thank you for sticking with me and have a good day. See you later. Okay, so looks like Rex is a member of the football team. So it does mention that he's a strong person. So certainly that being a football player, you gotta need to be strong, you know. So that's certainly something that is needed with being a football player. So it seemed like everybody, for the most part, was very optimistic about him being part of the team. Everybody was very accepting of him being on their team. Now, I thought Wyatt was going to be, I assumed Wyatt was going to be captain, but turned out the new captain is going to be Liam, you know, Lion. And he seems to be a little bit more skeptical of Rex. You know, when both Rex and when both Rex and Liam first spoke to each other in the cafeteria, he seemed to be very decent towards him, and he even agreed with Rex that Tucker was a handful to deal with. So I was a little surprised to see him kind of hesitant about Rex being on the football team. So I don't know. So that motivational speech Kamil gave, I believe what Kamil said. I believe what Kamil said is what Tucker wanted. That he wanted them to move forward and work harder at winning games. Me personally, I believe that's what Tucker wanted. So I'm going to focus on the relationship portion of the game more than the murder mystery. That's what I'm planning on doing. So that's all I have to say for now. Thank you all very much for watching. Bye.